Good morning, Corinne, independent MLA candidate. I'm in Creston today. We're going to start the day with, looks like Buffalo Trails coffee. Let's try it out. I've been stopping at a lot of fruit stands and talking to farmers in this valley. We have an issue this year where there was such a cold freeze that all of the soft fruit is not going to be in production this year. So plums, apricots, peaches, cherries, there just is no crop this year. Farmers are struggling. It is very difficult to make an income. And there is also issues now too where the water availability that is distributed through water systems and government interference is also becoming a problem. So when we're looking at food and our ability to get food, there is a lot of conditions that challenge farmers. And so we need to do what we can to help support rather than hinder what they're doing for us. The evening's just begun. We'll see how it goes. So currently right now, if you have a child that's in an independent school or a private school, they only get half the funding. And then the family has to pay the rest. If full funding went to the school, this creates kind of a free market competition thing where the schools that are providing the better education system will attract the students, and then the funding follows the student. That means that if there are certain values that the families prioritize, they can choose what school their child goes to, and then that allows that those schools then actually receive the funds. It just creates more of a competition, and it allows families to have choice on what kind of education system that their children are in. We also really need to focus on more rent-to-own housing solutions. There is a lot of influence from the government that is saying, we need to provide the government-owned housing. People will never be able to afford housing, and so we're going to provide it. This actually is what destroys the wealth that is passed on to other generations. If you are able to put equity into your own home, you create wealth that is passed on to your children or to others. If you are always put into a state of perpetual having to rent, it removes the equity that you should be achieving, and it is putting it in the hands of the people who are owning all the housing units. I noticed that Kalesnikov has got a new mass timber operation that they're doing in Castlegar. They were given land from the city of Castlegar, and they are doing a lease to purchase agreement. So all of their lease payments for 3 years will go towards the payment of that property. Why is it that corporations can have access to that and people can't? And so I did speak with some financial people, managers at the credit union and some mortgage brokers, because I wanted to understand what was the blockage of being able to provide this as a service to people. And it's just policy and regulation from government. So if you have a government who wants to support this, it is very easy to start implementing this. These are all solutions that actually put money back into our hands, rather than at every turn we are losing our resources. So these are just sort of some of the basic concepts that I'm looking at, that we have too much government, we're being taxed to death, it is being spent irresponsibly. I've been tracking how all this money is leaking out. It's quite a story. But mostly I'm here because we need somebody who's willing to fight, who's not going to be intimidated. I have that personality type. I've been doing my best over the last couple of years to get as educated and informed as possible so that I understand the financials, I understand how taxation happens, I understand where the money goes, I understand healthcare, I understand housing and building. I have those in my background. So these are what I can bring to the table. All I can do is offer this. You have to choose for yourself what you want for government representation. If you're okay with how things are going, I am not the person to vote for. I will be a status quo disruptor.